Fletcher Melvin is the head of the Cook Islands Chamber of Commerce and the private sector Taskforce. He's been pushing for a travel bubble and joins me now. Good evening, Fletcher. End of the year, potentially. Is that soon enough for you?
Kia ora, Anna. Well, it depends on what they mean by end of the year. If they're talking about October, then it's late, but it's something they would accept. We were hoping for September. Now, if they're talking about December, that would be very catastrophic for our businesses here. There are already businesses that are under a lot of stress. So we would hope that sooner rather than later.
When you say catastrophic, can you spell out for me what's going on with the industry there at the moment?
Yes, we're lucky in that the government here has been subsidising wages, so it allows for people to retain their staff. However, that is earmarked to end of September, which means that by the start of September, people will start to have their layoff notices. They need a month to prepare. There's a lot of repatriation plans going on. And it was hoped that if the travel bubble would have been established by early October, late September, at the latest, those plans could be put on hold and people could start to be a bit optimistic. But the fact is that people are just holding on financially. There is no income, literally for 5 months for most tourism businesses here, or all tourism businesses, I could probably say. After to extend that out with no subsidies would be impossible for most businesses.
Fletcher, what are you hearing about what issues still need to be ironed out here? What are the remaining challenges?
Well, our health department itself is very confident that they have all the protocols in place. There are still plans taking place on the border side, airport to airport. I believe the New Zealand, the Auckland airport has said they'll be ready by the 17th. The Cook Islands airport, it's a very small airport. It won't take very much to get ourselves ready, and they feel that they are. We've put in place for contact tracing apps and protocols. It's a very small country. For us to turn around and get things ready, it's very easy for us. I would think that New Zealand would just let us know what they need and put in place, and the country would very quickly do that, and I believe that's what they're doing now.
Do you anticipate that there will be test runs of any nature?
Well, I'm sure there is. I mean, but they will probably... the indication was that a team from New Zealand was coming over to do an audit about just in regard to our readiness. Our health head of health is confident that they have everything in place. So that's fine. Come over and do an audit. We said that we're ready, and we're confident. And the sooner the better. I mean, don't forget there's only one flight a week. So the team that's supposedly coming from New Zealand, if they come, they only have one Friday, this Friday, and then the following Friday to get over here, and then another week before they can leave again. Unless, of course, they're flying in in New Zealand a special flight. We're just hoping that the sooner they get this done, the better.
Well, interestingly, on Air New Zealand's website, there is we can see flights from the 25th of October every day, although they're not confirming if indeed their confidence is because of something that they've heard. I'm wondering, what kind of capacity can you cope with? If you are the only place that New Zealanders can go if they're able to leave the country, I mean, how many of us can you manage?
Well, we can manage 3,000 at any one time. So at our peak, we were getting about 24 to up to 26 flights. It really, the most flights we had was 26 flights a week. We believe there's enough capacity for 17 flights a week from Air New Zealand. And that is how popular the destination is. A lot of people are looking forward to coming over. And, and as soon as people found out that there's a possibility of it happening, in New Zealand said that they were inundated with booking. So we don't have a problem with taking as many people as that can safely come over, and that's the key word. is that we're keen to have a safe corridor. We believe that New Zealand's safe, and we are certainly safe. We're a COVID-free country, so New Zealand, once everything's in place over there, we're ready.
So when you say a maximum capacity of 3,000 at any one time, is there any way or opportunity to expand that capacity?
Yes, I mean, sure, there's a lot of holiday homes that people have built, and that's one of the issues that we've had, is the last couple of years there's been such a boom in the tourism industry that a lot of Cook Islanders have invested into holiday homes and have just built them, so they are desperate to pay off mortgages and get people into these holiday homes. So yes, there's more than enough capacity here to deal with New Zealanders coming over. It's not a problem.
So if it doesn't get underway until closer to Christmas or near the end of the year, that's your hurricane season, isn't it?
It's hurricane season. It's not generally when Kiwis travel. It's middle of summer. It's starting it's about right in the middle of summer for New Zealand. So people are not planning to travel at those times. So we need them in October when school holidays are on. It's a little bit cooler over here for New Zealanders anyway. So October is a sweet spot for us.
So what are you trying to do to move it along then, to get October on the calendar?
Wow, the New Zealand government hold all the cards. We are ready. We've done everything possible. If there's anything else that's required, we certainly would like to know, and the private sector here is keen to find out what they are, and that we will put in place whatever is required. I believe the government officials are working with New Zealand, that they are confident as well. Whatever it is, the main thing is that we need to know what New Zealand requires, and we will implement it. So that's what we're waiting on.
So, Fletcher, as you understand it, this is, what we'd call an exclusive relationship. If you invite us into your bubble, you can't go with anyone else?
Absolutely. Yeah, and that is a requirement of the Cooks as well. We've always said that we don't want to open to anywhere else that has COVID, and that's why we feel secure. I think if New Zealand opened up to countries that had COVID, we would have issues. But right now, it's a perfect scenario. The bubble should be established. We're both COVID-free, and we'll get this done.
Appreciate you joining us this evening. That's Fletcher Melvin, who's the head of the Cook Islands Chamber of Commerce and the private sector Taskforce there that's pushing really for a travel bubble. And as you heard him say, he'd rather it was October and not the end of the year. They need it soon.